Let's begin with Prep 1 Rudiments Workbook. Now that's the green book, plus the Prep Level Supplemental Workbook. That equals the preparatory level, followed by the Level 1 Supplemental Workbook. Now, I love teaching, and the one reason I love teaching is because kids say the cutest things. You may remember my twins from the last webinar, but just as a reminder, I wanted you to listen to what she has to say.
Woo! Beautiful.
And this is the company I work for.
Beautiful, thank you.
UMT is easy to teach and fun to learn. Here's how it works. For example, in the Prep 1 Rudiments Workbook on page 107, students begin to learn how to copy music. Now I wrote the turtle for Sheila and her turtle named Max. Yes, the words Sheila and Max are practically hyphenated, and he has quite a personality. Now, the Prep Level Supplemental Workbook, the title at the top of each page introduces the new concept, plus the page it follows in the Rudiments Workbook. So here students are learning about the new theory concept of melody writing as it indicates to use after Prep 1 Workbook page 107. When both the Prep 1 Rudiments Workbook and the Prep Level Supplemental Workbook are complete, then students are ready to move on to the Level 1 Supplemental Workbook. Now here, all the new Level 1 concepts are titled at the top of each page and introduced as we continue with melody writing and identifying the motives, so rhythmic pattern and melodic pattern. So what does Sola have to say? I love UMT. Yay, Sola! At UMT, we got you covered. Today we're going to learn about Level 1 and what's new, composition without confusion, history that's not boring, and yes, I used to think history was boring, why play games every week, and no, it's not just because it's fun, and finally, an amazing success story from our very special guest. The Level 1 table of contents itemizes the new concepts. Today, we will have a quick overview of the motives and patterns, melody writing, and music and history. Plus, we've included a bonus Level 1 theory exam and a special certificate for the successful completion of Level 1. Now, remember that Prep 1 Rudiments includes a comprehensive review test at the end of each of the 12 lessons. And these accumulative review tests build long-term memory. And it's one of the reasons UMT is such a successful teaching tool and learning tool. And in case you haven't met them yet, I'd like to introduce the UMT family. Meet Sola. Sola loves to sing and dance. She's expressive and creative, and she loves to tell stories through music. Sola feels music in her heart, and she loves to teach and compose and perform. Well, meet Tito. Tito loves to count and march. He is rhythmic and consistent, and he loves the rules of music theory. Tito feels music in his hands and feet, and he loves to analyze and share tips and conduct. And we need both Sola and Tito in order to master music theory. And Sola and Tito, you will notice that as we go through the supplemental series, you'll see how effective Sola and Tito will be as teaching tools for you to use with your students. Plus, they're so cute, right? Sola and Tito will guide you through mastering music theory. The Level 1 comparison chart is found at the beginning of the supplemental workbook, and it outlines the RCM theory concept with the Prep 1 workbook theory concept. So what's new in Level 1? Well, the supplemental workbook pages are indicated with a star as new concepts are introduced in the 2016 RCM theory syllabus. And you'll notice today that we will be covering melody writing and composition. Now, the Ultimate Music Theory flashcards app is an absolute must-have. You can get that at ultimatemusictheoryapp.com. Go there, get all the details. You absolutely want to grab one. The Ultimate Music Theory flashcards app includes the beginner prep subject and is divided into 12 decks that correlate to the 12 lessons in the matching workbook. And while preparing for today's webinar, I was thinking about the story my mother told me about setting goals and strategies in how to be effective in composing the greatest musical masterpiece the world has ever known, which led me to think about Hetty. Now, Hetty Jagersma is a very successful Ultimate Music Theory certified teacher who quickly implemented her training and increased her income by teaching UMT club classes and also teaching theory camp. And she said, "Thank you for all your help in making theory fun to teach and learn. Excited to see the new UMT books." Now, Hetty also said, "Life has been crazy." And I said, "Me too." How can we adopt the new vision to create our musical masterpiece and to inspire our students to see the big picture when life is crazy? Well, I'd like to share 3 secrets to teaching Level 1. I call it the 3 E's. The first E is envision. Envision success. Create an environment for learning and energize your students. It's how you see your success story in your mind's eye before you create it. Envision success. Let's start with how to teach composition without confusion. That's hard to say. Composition without confusion. If you have never taught composition before, then it can be a little overwhelming. And even if you have taught composition before, it may be because those particular students were actually interested in learning about composition. And now here we are teaching all of our students about composition. So first, we must learn. Learn about motive patterns. On page 28 of the Level 1 Supplemental Workbook, the Tito tip highlights the definition of a repeated rhythmic motive for question 1. Now, Sola says, a melody may repeat the melodic motive pattern at the same pitch or at a different, higher or lower pitch with the same rhythmic pattern. And Tito highlights the definition of a repeated melodic motive for question 2. I wanted to share with you how this lesson can be introduced for you and your students.